What's up, everybody? Jesse, Chris, Justin, and Edwin. We're back for Common Conversation. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight, as I always say. It's Thursday. Thanks for being here with us or dividing your time. Sorry we're late. I was distracted, okay? We're going to be reviewing X-Men Black later, right? The Magneto book?
Yep.
Right? So I was reading that, getting caught up on that. And I was also watching the Pats Colts game. So got a little lost on time. So my apologies for being late. All right, cool. So same format that we always do. I'm going to give some shout outs to folks in the chat. We'll do some little, some catch up on what we've been doing for the week. Jump into the news. But if you guys don't know, here on the panel, some of the folks in the chat already know. I did a thing, and I'm going to start doing it. May not be exactly weekly, but it's basically an addition to this show. It's continuing the conversation. It's either with me, with you guys, with whatever, as things come up, or if we can't fit everything into this show, I'll be doing it over there. But so I started that last week, and I announced a weekly giveaway. So we have a couple people that joined that were able to participate, and it's really easy to do. You just share the video and then leave a comment once it's after we're live. When it's on demand, just post a comment saying you shared it and you're entered. And each week during the show at some point, I will do the drawing for that. So for the folks who did it last week, we'll do the drawing at some point today in this show. So I just want to point that out. And that's a weekly thing, right? Like I was saying, I get a lot of books. I want to give some stuff away. So figured that was a good way to do it and give back to some folks who watch the show as an appreciation. So we do have a couple people here. We have first, let's see who is first. Who wins first today? Iron Galactus. He says, yeah, Thursday. Brian Spaceboy is here as well. He says, what up, Jess? What's up to you, brother? Legend is here as well. He's saying hello to everybody. I see Mr. Unknown with his Star Trek quotes. Jackio is here as well. TJ Watson. Tina's here. Hi, Tina. She says hello from Bama. Have to be nice, so roll tide roll. Cool. All right, thanks for being here. And Stay Puff as well just popped in, so very cool. All right, thanks for being here, guys. We have actually quite a bit to talk about tonight. I was surprised. Venom came out. I saw it. This poster I actually got a while back. Went out to some comic shops a couple months ago, but just figured I'd throw that up there. So if you have questions about it, want me to talk about it a little bit, I'd be happy to do so. That is on the list of topics for tonight. Some breaking news in the Star Wars world in terms of some shows, and something really interesting that I wanted to talk about with you guys too. Get your take on it. We always talk about TV shows and movies, news and stuff coming up. A couple cool things that were announced that I really want to mention here because cool stuff. And I'm being vague just because I don't want to I go on a tangent and I'll end up doing the whole subject right now. So list of topics is in the description for the video, so check that out there. And that's it. We'll get right into it. Let's start with Chris. What have you been up to in the past week? Crack open my Red Bull.
Well, let's see. There was party for my friend's daughter, her first birthday. Went to a state fair, had a lot of fun. What else? Just checking out some stuff on different shops and things like that. I did find a couple good things here and there. But other than that, just, regular old work and everything like that, and just kind of same old routine as always. So, just spent a little bit of time with the family over the weekend and then just back to work and grinding and everything like that. So, same old for me.
Sweet. There was a quote in the Venom movie. He said, lady asked him, what's new with you? He said, nothing's changed but the weather. That's not always a bad thing, right? So, all right, cool. Let's kick it over to Edwin. How have you been, man? I think it's been a couple of weeks since you've been on the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. Last week I was able to catch my first theater showing of Transformers the movie from 1986, and that was just
what I got.
Yeah, man, that was lovely.
You got one of these?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
That was actually the cover from the DVD that they put out earlier this year.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, last year. But man, it was great. It was wonderful. And then actually, real quick, shout out to Brian B. He sent me an act of kindness probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was just never really able to show it because I haven't been on for a little while. But he sent me some comics, Spider-Man 2099, I am a fan of. Yeah, and all these are in like really high grade too. And then I got
that's always been one of my favorite Spider-Man suits. The 2099 suit.
It's a cool suit. It's definitely a cool suit. And then this was something interesting I didn't really know with the Spider-Man 2099, but they had 2 different covers. So this is number 37. And then this also is number 37. So I guess even back then they were kind of doing variant covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't. Yeah, it is. I actually like that one. It'd be good to have Stan sign or something. But and then he sent in these right here, which these got to be 9.8 candidates. Deadpool Back in Black.
Oh yeah, those are from KRS, I think, right?
Yeah. These are actually my first KRS comic variants. I've never had any before, but
that's Tyler Kirkham, I believe, who did that cover.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a badass cover.
It's a sick cover. Yeah, I'd love to have Todd and Rob Liefeld sign on the side of, Venom and the side of Deadpool. But other than that, not really much else. Just ready to talk about comics.
Sweet. That's what we're here for. We're in the right place. So cool. All right, let's kick it over to Mr. Exile.
Hey,
Justin.
How's it going? Yeah, good fun last week. Played in that Magic the Gathering pre-release for the new set that's coming out, so that was a lot of fun. Got free card, or no, I didn't get any free cards. I didn't win enough to win free cards. I bought cards, so
you have to rank pretty high, right, to get the free cards.
Well, you have to. Yeah. You got to win more than one. I guess because I only won once. Yeah. So, but that was fun. But I did find out earlier this week. I randomly checked and looked, and the $5 Awesome Comic Con that comes around quarterly is coming back this Sunday. So I'm going to be going to that for sure. Sunday morning, awesome. I will be there. Very pumped for that. Looking for some deals.
Sweet.
Some deals. Deals of what? Deals. I don't know. But deals. I want some deals. No.
We love our deals.
All right. So that's about it. That's about all that's been going on.
All right, cool. Yeah. I've been pretty busy. I'm doing some like sort of class work with work. Just so you guys know, I'm going to be flying to Los Angeles on the 14th. So not next week, but the Sunday after that until the 24th. So I can't confirm there'll be a show on, I guess it would be the 18th. I'm going to try my best for that. But the point of me bringing that up is that I've been really busy with that. So not a whole lot in terms of, collecting and stuff. Just a couple eBay buys and, of course, seeing the movie yesterday. So that's pretty much it for me. So not a whole lot of excitement on my end.
Yeah, your review still hurts.
Yeah. I was just, just be honest with it. And, people agree, disagree. It's, just my opinion. And you know what? I could give it like a 0 out of 10, but I would still say, see it yourself, formulate your own opinion on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would never say, don't see the movie. I would say, go there and let me know if you agree with me or not. You know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't the best review, was it? Or I should say the most glowing
best
review. Movie. Yeah. For the whole year, I've seen a lot of movies that I haven't reviewed and given a star rating to. So I've seen plenty worse. But for the whole year, my lowest rated movie was Solo, a Star Wars story. And that was a 5, 5 out of 10, which is like perfectly average, right in the middle. But I just, I had to give this one a 4 out of 10, full star lower. There was more that I would have fixed with it than that I liked. And there was some really cool parts, some cool scenes. You could tell like with Tom Hardy, he really committed to the role and kind of gave it his all, stuff like that. The design of Venom is pretty cool, even though it doesn't have the spider, on his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple really cool things for comic fans, like some cool like references and nods. I won't spoil anything.
So you get basically a CGC 4.5, so it's like a VG or 4.
Yeah. Well, 4.5 would be a green label, 4.0 blue label. So yeah. Actually, we're going to talk about something with CGC that they announced. Since you mentioned that's funny. But the first thing I wanted to mention was Justin was talking about finding deals, right? Loves finding deals. We all do. You may be able to go back to a certain place in the near future for some deals. It turns out that Jeffrey may be unpacking his suitcase. Toys R Us may be coming back. Apparently, they canceled the bankruptcy, and they're trying to formulate a plan to kind of come back. What do you guys think of that?
That's
That's
a great thing, just because of the fact that, when you have a place like that, I mean, you got to figure retail toy stores, I mean, there's not many that just specialize in just that. And I mean, I know for myself, and I'm going to date myself a little bit, but, I was growing up in the 80s, so I remember the 3 toy stores that we had up here was Child World, KB Toys, and, Toys R Us. KB was the last to survive up until Toys R Us, because Child World went out I want to say Child World went out when I was around 10 or 11 years old.
That doesn't even sound appealing. Child World.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one.
I think wasn't there a commercial with a guy like on roller skates?
I don't know about on roller skates. I know that they had like a little toy soldier, like a little.
I remember that.
Was he also a clown?
Might have been.
I'm scared.
But yeah, it's just like, that one went out of business when I was young, and then KB went out of business in my late teens, and then Taiwan was the only place that you had. I mean, and they were down to very, very limited locations, but they were still the place you could go to get just about everything that you needed toy wise. And so, I mean, for it not to go away is a good thing, just because it is a brand that you can't, like, I mean, toys is in the name. You can't detract away from it. But I mean, I remember just myself, just being so excited as a kid to be able to go there, whether it was, spend allowance money, birthday money, just like, what do you want to get in the store? And it's just like, oh my God, this is like, it was just like, you walked into just this vault of just greatness, and you just go to all the different aisles and check things out. So, it's good that it's still around. It's good that it's still around for, excuse me. Thank you. All right. It's good that it's still around for, wait a minute, kids and everything like that. And it's really good that it's not going out. I do feel bad for some of the employees that I know, went ahead and quit when they thought it was going out of business. There's a long time. People that have been there for like many, many years. Okay. You can get down.
I think she's excited it's coming back.
They just like, yeah, I'm done. And it's just like, that's not cool. I mean, it's sad to think that, like, some people went ahead and tossed that had to leave what was their career, But I mean, overall, I'm happy it's there. I'm glad it's still around, and I'm hoping that they're able to get a good resurgence going, and hopefully, if they're able to get their online presence back under their control and not Amazon's.
Right.
That's what killed them.
Yeah. Sweet Exorcist says, bad move for Toys R Us. Retail is done. I give Best Buy about 2 to 3 years before Amazon and Walmart take them out. Yeah, man. I mean, brick and mortar just can't beat online, and they're so diverse, and what they have, it's hard to compete with it. Especially like Amazon, 2-day shipping. Pre-order stuff, and it just shows up.
But let's
especially
also
with.
Well, let's think about this. Did you guys get the notification from eBay telling you to write a letter to your senator to keep them from charging tax on eBay and online purchases? Did you guys ever get that?
don't think I got that.
I've heard something about. I know that at first it was from Amazon, because it was just like Amazon to keep it tax free and this and that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that there's any real way to stop it. If they want to make it taxable, it's just the way it is. And I think that in some states you have to pay tax already. So I think that it's just kind of a thing to make it universal, based on the state that you're purchasing from, or So I have a feeling that that's just gonna end up being standard.
Well, I bring that up because I always thought Amazon and eBay was kind of a threat to brick and mortar stores because tax free. But if they're going to be just like a brick and mortar store like Toys R Us, maybe it might kind of balance things out a little bit better for Toys R Us. I mean, we all know that Toys R Us was just expensive. I mean, it always reminded me of Best Buy. Whenever you go into Best Buy, they're still charging $15, $20 for a CD. And I found it to be the same thing with like their DVDs and stuff. They're still charging like $10, $15, $20 for a DVD. So that right there told me that something was wrong with management. I don't know if they were just out of touch with the certain markets, but something definitely was wrong. And maybe, what they say, hindsight is 20/20. So maybe they're looking back on this and they're saying, you know what, we can change this, this, and this and come back. I know one of the things they need to do is not have as many stores. I think that was one of the problems they had. They had too many stores.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, there's no incentive to go in there when everything's like, I mean, because I went in there with my nephew several times looking for like wrestling figures or Marvel Legends or whatever. And I mean, they're the exact same price, if not $1 or $2 more than Walmart or online or anything else. Yeah. So there's no actual incentive to go there versus anywhere else.
Well, that's the thing that, is the difference nowadays versus back then. It's just that, with all those stores leaving and with all those locations closing down, it's really tough to be like, let me go there and pay, the extra price. That's one thing I'm glad you brought up because, even though they have, such a wide selection, they are known to be a little bit more expensive than the other places. And that's, I think, partially what hurt them. But then also the fact that, like I said before, they let Amazon basically control their online, which, Amazon's like, we'll take that. That's easy. Like, you guys can shut down. We'll keep the store going. That's no problem. So what they should take a little bit of a lesson and understand that, they should probably be either charging in line with or, if not in line with the other stores, maybe, offer some deals or some type of savings to get people to come back, just because name recognition alone isn't going to be enough to get it through. I think that people will be happy, if it's like, for Christmas, like, oh, this Christmas is good, but, what about next year? You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the key. You could get people in like, hey, we reopened, nostalgia. They go in, they see it, fine. But how do you get them to keep coming back? That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I think is really what's going to be, the defining factor. It's just that, what their pricing is going to be like. And then on top of that too, like, and I don't know, I mean, this is all preliminary. Like, they're saying that, like, this is what they're going to try to do, but there's no, like, do they know who's actually going to be, backing them, and getting them into that, getting them back up and running, because I mean, I'm sure the other places will have, like, some terms and conditions to kind of help it out and be like, hey, we didn't just put all this money into just for you to go away in a year. Like, we have to have a long-term stretch goal to figure out how we're going to, become competitive and stay the premier toy seller in the market.
Well,
I heard that they're going to have, I heard they're going to have LL Cool J as their spokesperson. He's going to go, don't go, come back.
Stuff. That's the worst thing to do. What's he gonna do? Sit there and make a scream rap about get your toys here. Mama said get your toys.
Yeah. Jeffrey said knock you out.
Yeah, I'll say this much. Mama said knock you out is a great beat, but it's not gonna work for toys. Don't come back. We've been here for years.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, that's not gonna work. LL Cool J, you keep your hands off of this.
That's right. Stay away. Yeah. So, all right, cool. So we'll bring more news on that and see what we can,
what they need to do
in terms of that.
You remember what they used to do back in the day? And this honestly, even as an adult, I would do it. If I won, I would do it in a second. The Super Toy Run. Do you remember that? Where they would basically let a kid you know, they had a big contest, you know, nationwide or whatever, and you enter it, and then you get to go into the store, and whatever I think you had like something like 15 minutes, whatever you could load into your carrot and get to the register, you got to keep for free. Oh my god!
It was like supermarket sweep.
Yeah, but now they would just go straight for like the electronics and grab all like the 360s,
like, all right, here we go.
Or like the Xbox Ones and PS4s they could.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They're all so small now. Like technology, you could fit so much. Like 4 carts worth, you know, now is what would fit in 1 cart back then.
That would be so much fun. I used to be so jealous of those kids. Like, oh my god, if I could have just half of that cut, because I mean, people were crazy back in the day because they were going for the GI Joes and Transformers. So you'd have kids, you know, taking the USS flag, and it's like this humongous, like take it down and put it all inside, and then like, look what Jimmy got. And it's like, Jimmy, you suck. How did you win? Jimmy cheated. That should be me. It should be me with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But even at my young, like you know, I knew you go right for the video games, like all the Nintendos, all of them. Just give me all of them. I would have bought
Legos are expensive too. You get all the Legos.
The Legos too. Oh my god. Yeah. The original Millennium Falcon.
Legos are much bigger now, I think, than they were back then when Toys R Us was doing that.
They were, but like I mean, if you have, let's put it this way, if you have an original Millennium Falcon, you know, unopened or whatever, that's definitely you know worth a lot of money. So even the new one, I think, is the Death Star. I think is like $700 or $800. Oh no, that's something over there.
It's crazy. So all right, cool. So the next thing I wanted to, this is crazy. They're already relaunching Captain Marvel with a new #1 in January, and I know it's tied with the movie, you know, the timing of it, but freaking A, they're just. I feel like we just got that one. What, Life of Captain Marvel? When did that start? How long is that going to run? One trade paperback worth of issues?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be only one trade because what, issue 3 just came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're rebooting it already?
That's why I wanted to add it here. It's crazy. Yeah. Crazy, I tell you.
It's beyond illogical.
Well, I mean, I think the life of it is just kind of a, you know, I guess, different kind of origin. And so, you know, what's good about that, I mean, is, yeah, you know, you get to find out a little bit more about her and her relationship with her parents and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of, I guess it's not quite a standalone, but I do feel like it's kind of stupid to relaunch it with a new #1. Like that's you know, just let them, you know, why not just continue on and like, oh, we still have a lot more story to tell. I think that Marvel's kind of forgotten the fact that you can continue a story, even though it's a new story. Like, you know, why can't it be issue number 58? Why does it have to go back to #1 and start all over again and act like, you know, volume 243 of Captain Marvel? Like, why?
Exactly.
You know,
you do your story arc, filler, give it a little bit of breather, and you do your story. You know, just continue with the numbering.
Since 2012, Captain Marvel has had 5. If not now 6 different volumes start.
Yeah.
Jack Hill said exactly what I was thinking. Nobody reads
exactly. I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah. Nobody's talking about that movie, or nobody's talking about that book. Nobody's like referencing it and giving these awesome glowing reviews of it or anything like that. So it's an afterthought.
Well, you know what's crazy for me is just that, like, I think that Marvel's kind of in the mindset. I know what the mindset is as far as like the #1s are concerned, but I wonder if you know, they would go ahead and be like, well, we're treating them as actual books, so it's just like, you know, when you finish a story arc or when you finish that run, now you have a new volume, a new book, and it's just like, I mean, but to have an actual, you know, book that you would buy, like, you know, a novel or whatever that you'd buy in like Barnes and Noble is not the same as comic. Like comics, the continuity has to continue on. It has to make sense. And really, at this point, I mean, if that was their excuse, like, yeah, we just do, you know, we're doing it in this way. We want to make them actually like, you know, legitimate books and novels. Just like, don't do that. Just you know, keep the formula simple. There's no reason to keep on messing around with this type of stuff, because I mean, people have already gone ahead and said, we don't like this. Stop it. Because
I got to be honest, Chris, you're right. Like, to us, it's stupid, but from a business point, I would have done the same thing, just because you want to try to get as many new readers on board as possible. But one of the things I've noticed that is a little bit different, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, But do you remember, like, in the 90s, like, whenever they did a movie, like, look at Transformers, the movie, they did a 3-issue comic book that was just based on the movie. Same thing with, like, Terminator 2 and any other movie that they were coming out with. They would just do, like, a 2 or 3 or 4 issue.
They didn't go ahead and cancel. Like, if the series was canceled and they did that, that's one thing. But, like, you know, the Transformers, the movie came out. You know, like put it this way, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, came out with its own like miniseries, you know, that was separate from the actual comics, but they didn't cancel, you know, Star Wars. Like Star Wars still was like, you know, let's say that came out around the time of issue number like 85 or something like that. It still continued on, and that's where I think the difference goes. You know, I think that if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna have, you know, movie adaptations, that's perfectly fine. But, you know, to restart again, it's kind of like it hurts the long-term fans' confidence in you. And then, you know, yes, you get short-term fans that'll stick around for a little bit, but they go away. And, you know, it's the long-term people that you gotta, you know, you have to try to ring back in. And then, you know, that's when we get all the empty promises of no, trust me, no more events. We won't do that to you anymore. And that's like, but just one more is like, you guys just said you weren't going to do that. You guys are assholes, you know? So that's what they should try to avoid. But I mean, hey, look, they're making tons of money. I'm not. So, you know, I can't tell them what to do, but I would hope that they would kind of learn from their mistakes and not keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Hopefully. But it doesn't seem like it.
No, you know.
And that is foreshadowing for my feedback on X-Men Black. So, yeah. Another thing that I thought was interesting that came out this week is that Neil Gaiman has signed a deal with Amazon Studios. Oh, yeah. So a lot of his stuff is going to be going over there. Yep.
That is crazy.
The first thing, it's going to be Good Omens. Yeah, a lot of these guys, they must be throwing a lot of cash around. You know, Netflix, Amazon, Hulu. They're picking up all these properties that you know, get them while they're still available. You know, it's a rush on these types of IPs, especially Neil Gaiman stuff, right? It's crazy. So yeah, that'll be all Amazon Prime Video for his stuff. So I do want to ask the folks in the chat, or you know, Chris maybe. I don't often do this, but just give me a couple updates on the game if you can. Curious where we're at.
Like what kind of updates do you want to know?
The score.
The Spider-Man 2099 suit is in there.
No, wrong game.
Huh?
No, not the Spider-Man.
I was all excited.
Yeah,
it's
the Patriots are all wearing Spider-Man suits.
Yeah, they're in the 2099 suit.
Jeez. No, I'm talking about
the Spider-Man game. I was going to say, I can tell you all that stuff about that.
I'm right about 50% through it.
Yeah. I looked. I think I'm close to 70. And I got sad. I was like, no, 70%. It's only 30% left.
Then you can play it again on the harder setting.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm not worried so much about that. I'm just like,
well, that's my thing though. Is like, what happens at that point? Does that game have a lot of replayability?
I don't know. I know they're gonna do DLC for it, just because you know that's gonna be a cash cow for them.
Oh yeah,
but
I think because it's such an open world concept and you can just swing around, you know, that a lot of people
do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But can you hang out with your friends who are also Spider-Man yet?
No. I don't think you get anything like that.
What?
So it's a one-player game?
Not yet.
Need multiplayer open universe.
Sorry. All right, our friends over at Blasted or Stashed are here. Nice to have you here with us. We're just talking about two different games at the same time.
Yeah. Patriots are up 14-0. So
yeah.
Brady ran in the touchdown. That's very ill-advised. I don't like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Take out his knees.
Oh, shoot, yeah. Leave his knees alone.
They'll just put him back in. He's not a real person. He's some sort of robot or something.
It's avocado ice cream, man.
That sounds horrible.
I know. I can't imagine it's good, but like apparently it's very healthy for you. I don't know how.
Okay, so is kale. Have you ever eaten kale?
I think it's horrible. I'm pretty sure I did accidentally. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it may be good for you, but the taste will kill you.
Kale was supposed to be a garnish. You know, that's all.
No, it's all I eat. Like I just eat kale.
You eat kale, really?
That's all. Just a big plate of green burnt kale.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, so we finally got shift change where you can watch some of the shows. Okay, cool. That's good. Jason wants the Pats to lose so Tom Brady can cry in that car.
Yeah.
Jason wants lots of things, but guess what? Sellers don't want this game. Sellers don't want this game. The Celtics, if they had a little more experience, would have been in the NBA Finals. They would have got killed by Golden State, but they would have made it there. They almost did. So
I like Iron Galactus' answer. He says, kale tastes fine when I wash it down with whiskey.
Nice.
Nice. I like that. So, all right. So, I was talking about Neil Gaiman. We got really, that's fine.
Yeah, right.
so that's
it's
Neil Gaiman eats kale. He eats kale.
That's a good transition.
He probably does eat kale.
He wrote American Gods, and kale is the plant of the god.
Because he's a wizard.
That and Sandman.
Yeah.
But
so it'll be interesting to see. Like the first one is Good Omens. Like what else comes out for him, you know? And that is actually a novel that he wrote. So he does like novels as well as obviously comics.
yeah,
So he's got a lot of other properties that I don't think that everybody's aware of that he's done. Like, have you guys heard of Good Omens before right now?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
No.
I know he does. I've seen his name in like Barnes and Noble and like just the actual novels and stuff like that. So
I have American Gods. I've read that one. That one was good before the TV show came out.
Yeah. This actually ties into something that we can talk about, and I think Justin, you might be excited about this. So it's going to star Michael Sheen, David Tennant, and John Hamm.
oh yes,
What is it?
It's the show. You know.
Oh, he's going to be in that. Oh, okay. I got you. I was like, I didn't know what you're talking about. I thought you were changing to a different subject or something. I was like,
well, it's kind of a transition because David Tennant was obviously in Doctor Who, right?
Yep.
And the new show starts on Sunday.
Nice.
Right? The new season 11.
Yep.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but the good thing, what I hear about this season is that they're doing it in a way where you don't have to know all the history and the backstory for Doctor Who. You can just this is like a good jumping on point. So if you're ever like curious about watching Doctor Who, but like we're like, damn, it's been on for like decades. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And like Torchwood and all that stuff. You don't have to know any of that. You can just go into this, and apparently they're gonna just take care of that for you.
This is Netflix?
No, it's
BBC. Yeah, BBC America should be on.
Okay. My wife actually watches a lot of Doctor Who. I wouldn't be the right person to really get an opinion on, but I will definitely ask her because I know she'll watch it.
Yeah.
I would say in our community, one of the best resources you could talk to about it is Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is a Doctor Who fanatic. He knows all the stuff. He's the guy. Like if you have a question, and honestly, I'm surprised he doesn't do some videos on it. But Kyle knows all about Doctor Who.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
I don't know anything about the older stuff, but when the guy who took over when it first started back, Billy Piper was on there with him. Christopher Eccles, Eccleston or whatever. When he first started, I started watching it, and I watched all the way up through maybe the second season of Peter Capaldi's, whatever. Yeah,
is that the one with
the older guy?
Oh, the older guy. Okay.
Yeah, so the most recent before he died. Now I'm just not sure. I don't know. I feel like I need to at least try the first couple episodes of the new Doctor Who, but I'm not overly excited for it for whatever reason. But I think I was just kind of losing interest in the show.
Yeah.
Kind of toward the end of Peter's run anyway.
I think what is it?
I mean, it's a really fun concept, and it's a British show, so it's got that British quirkiness to it and stuff. But the David Tennant stuff and the Matt Smith, those seasons, it seems like they just they took it to new like higher grounds, and they're just trying to get back to that with it now or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, for the people that I've
Sweet
met
Exorcist says Torchwood is part of the Doctor Who universe. Yes. Torchwood is an anagram for Doctor Who. If you change the letters around, you have Doctor Who.
Mm.
Yep. Like the people who I've talked to that like actually like the show. I mean, they get so into it. They're like, oh my god, like and once you really understand all this stuff, like it's really really good. It's so in depth and so good. And I was just like, no idea. Like I mean, I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't really know much about it. So if this is a good jumping on point, then maybe I'll give it a shot. Just because I mean, I have no problem seeing giving it a try and seeing what it's all about. Because I mean, if it's as good as they say, then it sounds like it's a really good quality show. So
yeah, that's my thing too. Like if I'm not like a Doctor Who fan by any stretch of the imagination, but if this is a good jumping on point, almost a Doctor Who point, then I'm gonna give it a shot too. Just try it out.
Yeah, and I think all the seasons are on Netflix, so if you want to go back and get caught up, or if you feel the need, you can.
Yeah. Like that would be a hell of a binge.
No. It's really. I mean, there's only been. You're thinking of like the stuff back from like.
I'm thinking of like way back.
Yeah, and those a lot of those weren't series as much as they were like movies and things like that.
Oh, yeah, because when I think Doctor Who, I get a very James Bond vibe to it. Not exactly like James, but like something where it's like there's a lot of different actors that have played him, and just so it's just like always a different person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just went back on Netflix and just went back to the ones that started with Christopher Eccles,
I'm 25 years behind on Doctor Who.
Yeah. See, and now that doesn't matter because it's a jumping on point for you.
Jumping on.
So
that's what I think. If you're gonna revive a show or if you're gonna bring it back or something like that's actually not a bad thing to do. Where it's just like you have all the history and you can go back and check it out, but this is the jumping on point for here. So, we're not going to get into all that, but just from now on, this is how we go. I would say that's kind of, in a way, like what Star Trek The Next Generation did, where it's just like, doesn't matter if you weren't a Trekkie from before, like, this is new stuff. Like, there's a whole new captain, everything else. Just get on board and watch the show.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, cool. So, you may notice a little something up on my screen here. Let me present it to all of y'all's. This is very present to everyone. Come on, there we go. It looks like Boba Fett.
Is it Deadpool?
It's
it's a Deadpool from the Middle Ages.
Looks like he's got a rifle.
Yeah, and a gun.
Deadpool at Halloween.
It is Mandalorian. This is a first look at the new Mandalorian from Jon Favreau's Star Wars show. Just came out with the synopsis and stuff. Which is Doctor Who cares, nice. Which is basically what we said a couple shows back, like a month or two back. We were talking about the Mandalorians and stuff. Right after the fall of the Empire. Remember I was talking about that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much exactly what So I have the description here. This is from Jon Favreau. He says, after the stories go in Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe, and that's probably this guy here. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We were talking about that. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. Bum, bum, bum. So, I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm liking what I see so far.
Like Mandalorian is just like how they're described, how you come to understand them and their tribe and all the rest of it. They're really cool characters. So it's always cool to see, they're cool characters because they're super badasses. I remember the Old Republic video game really explained a lot about Mandalorians, what they were all about, and why they were so menacing. So that's that. Boba Fett, ends up being part of that lineage. So it's going to be cool to see, someone new, in that same lineage, figuring out, just figuring out who they are and how they operate, and if they're going to be like more of them, it's going to be pretty cool to see. So definitely excited for that.
Yeah, should be good. This is going to be a live action TV series. Mad Men 1976. He asked what that is. So it's not a movie. It's a live action show, which is going to be on Disney Play later next year, which will be their streaming service.
Nice.
So, all right. This was not on the topics, the list of topics, but I did find this, and I want to share it with you guys. You may have seen it, you may not have, but this comes from Chris Evans' Twitter page.
I seen that.
You saw it? So obviously he plays Captain America, and he is saying that he has officially wrapped his part of Avengers 4. He says, officially wrapped on Avengers 4. It was an emotional day, to say the least. Playing this role over the last 8 years has been an honor. To everyone in front of the camera, behind the camera, and in the audience, thank you for the memories. Eternally grateful. So what does that sound like to you? It kind of sounds like old Cap there might not be unsnapped.
Sounds like quitter talk.
Yeah.
We don't like no quitters around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of
like it sounds like there's a second snap, but it might not be a snap of the fingers.
the snapping.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense though too. Because I mean, if you're gonna go for another emotional, go of it or whatever, to lose Captain America, is probably one of the biggest blows you can have to the heroes as far as like they're all concerned. Because I mean, as much as him and Tony might butt heads, there's all that respect there. There's and so many people who grew up with him being the epitome of superheroes. So I can see that.
Or it's just all propaganda.
Yeah, they do. They like to do the bait and switch thing.
Well, his contract may be up. Maybe this is him baiting for fan reaction, so he'll get another contract.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulling a Cavill.
Right. If you want me back, show me the money.
All right. So there's that. I'm going to show you one more thing on my screen, then we can get over to the other things. Okay, tell me what you guys think of this.
It's magnifying and decreasing size.
I can't see it.
I see hair.
Yeah, somebody's
What
hair.
happened?
I don't know. We see.
A female's hair.
Now we're presenting to Chris, I think.
Oh, that's an ugly looking Lobo.
That's
like
Lobo.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a fan.
I mean, the crotch thing, that might be a little too much.
Right.
Maybe a belt buckle.
Throw
That's
it in the
Lobo.
trash.
That's going to be all kind of memes right there.
That's a cool,
Yeah.
cosplay.
Krypton season 2 here. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Krypton season 2. It might work, maybe.
Nope.
I don't know, man.
If it's television, it's one thing, but
Yeah, it is. It's on Sci-Fi.
I still trash. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't either. Like I said, he
Eyes
looks
look weird.
He doesn't look
like-
big enough either.
No,
Right.
exactly. I was gonna say like they need to get like a big dude to be him.
like he's always got to be standing on a box over everybody
Like-
or something.
This guy just,
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he works out, but he ain't like, you know what I mean? Like you need a big dude. So nope.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tina. Krypton was great. I like that first season.
So once this guy
Best
goes to the
Brainiac ever.
once he goes to the gym, add some muscle. Yeah, we can bring him back. Or if he has a taller older brother, hey, you got a taller, bigger older brother? Yes.
Like I said though, like my first reaction to this was like, oh, that's a cool cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that be like, oh,
That's not a good sign.
That's awesome. But as for like a back to movie production or TV production,
He looks like Enzo Amore, I'm telling you.
Well, it looks like a cosplayer with his buddy then did some Photoshop stuff behind it.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like
It's like, we could make this.
It's like an independent
Comic Con, the cosplay Lobo.
That's right.
$1,000 budget.
I mean, I was thinking like $200, if that.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Need a lot of
That's just to buy like the accessories and stuff there.
Well, we were all saying the same thing about Teen Titans.
We could do the skin with Photoshop.
Yeah.
Or no, Titans was different. Titans was more a reaction to the fact that
Segue.
I mean, Titans was more the reaction to Robin. Fuck Batman. I'm like, what the hell is this coming from? Like, this
I was talking more about Starfire when we first seen those very first images.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's just how is this gonna work? This looks weird, but I mean,
we still don't know. We still don't know. That's yet to be answered. It hasn't premiered yet.
Honestly, I think that they're just it's not going to work in the way that you think it will, and we don't really give a shit. I really think that was their attitude. Look, too much, flack. So we're just gonna do what we're gonna do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But this is Starfire, so get used to it. I really do think that was their attitude, because what else are you gonna do at that point?
This person on Twitter said Emmett Scanlon, that's the actor, as Lobo, was giving me John Travolta Battlefield Earth vibes.
Yes. That's exactly what it looks like.
That's the worst thing you could do. That's a
I know, that's not a compliment. Hope it looks better in action.
I'd be like, shit, really? Like, what can
Iron Galactus says, is that a character from Twilight?
Yeah. I think, we're joking about it, but I think it will work well with the aesthetic of the show.
It might.
Down in the streets and the, bottom of Krypton, I know.
Well, he may be smaller because you got to remember, this is, this is Superman's grandpa that we're dealing with on Krypton. So Lobo would have to be several generations younger. So maybe he's smaller. Maybe he gets bigger as he gets older. Like most people do.
Yeah.
So it's young Lobo.
Yeah.
So you're saying he has Benjamin Button?
Well, no. I mean, he's still going in the correct direction. It's just, 50, 60 years ago is when this show takes place?
Interesting.
Or however long. Space travel time.
Yeah. Going the speed of light.
Well, yeah, but you gotta account for how long did Superman's escape pod take to get from Krypton to Earth? How long was that? Because he could have been near the speed of light, not aging, but it still could have taken thousands of years.
Well, if you think about Supergirl, I mean that was definitely true of that during the.
Well, she got thrown off course.
Well, yeah, and so she just went around in circles for a long time, and then say, "Hey," and then it was just oh, you're supposed to be my older cousin, but you're literally 14 years old.
But you're stronger than me because you lived on Krypton longer.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead.
All right,
because it ties to this. And you said segue before.
Yep.
The show Titans, right? Doesn't come out till the 14th, next week. I think it's the 14th, that Friday. Anyways, it's already been renewed for another season.
There you go.
So love it or hate it, it's locked in for 2 seasons already, which is interesting. I know that our friends over on Comic Frontline, Comic Book Corner 2.0, Mike Spider Slayer, as well as Kat, they were able to see it early. They did an advanced review for the first 2 or 3 episodes. And if you're curious about kind of their take on it and what to think, should you wait? Should you sign up? Is it good? What is the reaction? That's probably one of the first and only places you'll be able to see that right now. So head over there if you want.
So they watched the whole thing, the whole season?
No, they just watched. It looked like Mike watched the first episode, and then Kat watched first 3. So when they did the initial announcement for it, Kat was actually one of the people that was up on the screen. So I think that she kind of through that had a deal to get hooked up with it for reviews.
That's kind of cool.
So yeah, that's cool, right? But yeah, they're pretty confident, I guess, if they're renewing it. But it's their own thing. They have to keep having content going forward. They have to. It's all exclusively them, so they just have to keep putting it out there. So it kind of makes sense that they're already thinking that far ahead. And okay, we have our first wave. What do we do next after that? So.
Well, it's like what Jacko said. He said 2 seasons because there's nothing else to watch on that service.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And TJ says that he's read a few reviews and they were good. So, it goes back to what we are talking about with the images, and how they could be misleading. And of course, when we think of that, we think of Starfire. Maybe it will end up being pretty damn good. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to say. Those first images of her came from like set images where they were like in the middle of filming. It was like the middle of the day. It wasn't really a scene. She was just kind of like hanging out on a street corner. Yeah. It was just kind of like out of context, I guess. I don't know. Maybe with the reviews and stuff saying it's good, maybe we should give it a chance. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I understand. I mean, I think the takeaway that you have to have with that too is that television, you have a lot more time to develop things. So you kind of have, in certain cases, if you're on the right path, even though maybe you're not exactly there, you have, just that whole like level of kind of forgiveness and that leeway to be like, okay, well then, this episode wasn't so good, but this next one they picked it up and they did good things, So I think in that way, that's probably going to be a saving grace for them. So it's not like they have to be perfect every episode, but they definitely can go ahead and make their way through and then finally find their groove and go on forward with that. So I think that's a saving grace of television versus movies. But the fact that you bring up that it's streaming and they always have to have content, that's going to be tough because it's just like, I mean, if they're releasing everything and I'm sure you went over this before, but I forgot. Are they releasing it all in one big lump so you binge it, or is it going to be basically like
weekly?
It's a traditional format.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, that's the smartest way to do it because as you release them, you can figure out what you're doing wrong, right, whatever. The only problem is that they're already taped, so you may have a season that might be a little weak, and then the next season they pick it up and it's better. So I think that releasing it weekly is the smartest way to go, just so that you can get the right testing and the right barometer of review that you can make a good decision on where to go forward with it. So
yeah, it keeps people signed up for more than a month too. Sign up for a month, binge it, and you're done. Boom, right?
Yeah.
But this way, it keeps you locked in for month over month. But the key there is the show has to be good and engaging. To want that. Couple other things kind of tied into this. Matt Bomer, they cast him as Negative Man for Doom Patrol, which I think I'm more interested in waiting for that show, maybe signing up when that launches versus right now. Definitely curious about Doom Patrol. And what I've seen, what we've shared here looks pretty cool. And then the other thing, they also are going to be having an animated Harley Quinn series, right?
Yep.
Kaylee Cuoco, they announced, is voicing Harley.
What did she do? What did she play?
She is Big Bang Theory. She's Penny.
Yeah, she's the chick. Yep.
So she's not the original.
She's the chick. Yeah.
Okay.
But what's funny is I had seen earlier on Facebook there was an extremely clickbaity title for it, and it was just like, "Oh, meet your new Harley Quinn," and it was her, but it wasn't like meet the voice of. It was just like kind of, "Oh, here's your new Harley Quinn." It almost made it seem like they had gotten rid of or recast away from Margot Robbie to get you to click on the article. So that was kind of an underhanded thing I think that happened. But as far
I saw the opposite because it was her and it said, here's what she's going to do after the Big Bang Theory. And then it said that about Harley Quinn. We got the opposite. We must look at opposite news channels.
Maybe, I don't know. Because I just remember seeing that, and TiVo was the one who's like, why don't you say it this way? That's very clickbait, just like, but he made a good point. It was just like, it was the perfect way to get people to be like, oh, like, you know, Harley Quinn has been recast, awesome, and it's just like, oh, for a cartoon, well then,
yeah, it's
not the same impact, even close, but
yeah. Yeah, Jack says Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing could be so good. Here's hoping. Shout out to Big E's, home of the NY Warriors. He's here with us as well. So some of our friends in the week that do the live shows, you know, podcasting, vidcasting, live shows, auctions, all that good stuff. So shout out to all of y'all. White Whale says, animated show. She's just voice acting. Yeah. So there you go. And yes, there. He's right too. There is a clip of it out, so you can hear what she'll sound like. Just a standard kind of Warner Brothers animation style of animation, but you know, with her voice. So, and I think it was just like the jester suit, Harley. You know, which is what it'll be. So cool. All right, so talking about Biggie's NY Warriors. I was on their Facebook page, of course, as I do, and I think it was Jeff Johnson. So I want to shout out Jeff Johnson. Posted a link for an announcement. Obviously, we have what's it called? New York Comic Con that's coming up, right? Or that's here. CGC made a big announcement. Very big announcement. CGC, if you're listening and you're new, it's a slabbing company, grading, encapsulation, you know, tell you a grade of your comic, and they protect it. One of the biggest out there and the oldest. So they announced a new service called Crossover. So it says CGC is introducing a crossover service that for a limited time provides a 50% discount on grading fees for comics that were previously graded and encapsulated by another company. So they're saying if you're PGX, if you're CBCS, send them over to us. We're going to give you half off, and we'll kind of basically reslab it for you. Has to be sent in the other holder. What they'll do is remove it from there, grade it, and then encapsulate it in their own slab.
Wow.
And
I'd
for
be
a limited
interested
time,
in
it's
that.
half off, right? So, yeah.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this first, because you might be able to answer this. What about yellow labels?
Let me see.
Signatures. Because I have a feeling that they wouldn't see if you can't meet that what CBCS does for people who get signatures, then I mean I don't really know.
Wow.
You know, what's the point?
It would have to go through their own because it says it goes through their CGC's grading standards. And it says there's no guarantee that the grade assigned will be the same as the grade assigned by the other company. Oh, here you go. Here's your answer. Signed collectibles submitted under the crossover service will not receive a CGC signature label.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
I don't really have any interest then.
So, yeah. Only the normal labels are worth it then.
Yeah, because I already use CGC for blue labels. I only use CBCS now for signatures only. That's it.
Yeah, you'd have to reholder it as a blue label, and then maybe if you want to resubmit it and get like a red label back.
Yeah.
Right? Because it wasn't witnessed by them.
Yeah. I don't know if Big E's could answer this, but Big E's had what's his name? NYC, what's his name? Manny NYC, and he was saying something about the red labels were going to be turned into yellow labels. Everything was going to be turned into yellow label. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the case, that would be cool. But I don't know. I think it's just a quick grab to try to grab as many people from the CBCS side as possible. But I just don't know if it's going to work. I mean, for half off, how long did you say it was going to be for? How many books? Half off for
it just says for a limited time.
For a limited
they're
time.
doing
Okay.
on-site grading right now. So I guess kind of through that they'll have some, but they're not putting
PGX books. That's all it's going to be.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
You're just going to get a ton of them.
Well, yeah, I could see that. But the thing is a lot of people use CBCS because they're cheaper than CGC. So, you know, if you're going to switch over to CGC from CBCS,
No, I'm saying PGX.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying about PGX. Like, yeah, if you got a PGX book and you can get it, into a CGC case, I'm all for that. But I'm just talking about the fact that CBCS is already cheaper than CGC. Saying an over wouldn't probably save you a ton of money.
I would like to be able to submit old CGC cases to CGC and get a new case.
The new cases are nice, man. I will say that when I'm looking for slabs on eBay, I like to look for the new CGC slabs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's pretty slick.
Mm-hmm.
They just feel more sturdy.
Yeah,
and they look nice.
Yeah.
I like CBCS. That's kind of my go-to. My only thing with it, just fair balance here, is the turnaround times. And I know that it's tied to the hurricane and the move, and they chose not to be at New York Comic Con, so that they could kind of work on these everything that's in the vault. That's it's months in the queue. So it'd be kind of crazy to take in a New York Comic Con thing, and they would have to do like they did last year. CGC has an exclusive deal for 2 years with ReedPop, who are the people who run a bunch of shows. One of them is NYCC. So they would have to do what they did last year and basically post up across the street, like a hotel, like down the road, like nearby. And that actually, they got really good response from that. A lot of people went to them, but they chose not to do that this year, so that they could focus on just kind of doing their own thing and catching up and getting those turnaround times down. So kind of my thing with them, and I haven't submitted in a while because of that, is the turnaround times. So it's nice to hear that they're not, just taking whatever. They're conscious of people's response. And that's one thing that I really like about them as well. And Steve Borak is that, and he's been on our show a couple times, so that's a testament to it. They really listen to what their customers are saying and really, take it to heart and either, change it, enact it, or explain why they aren't. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I really like about that company.
Shout out to Biggie's real quick again. He said that he did ask Steve Bork about the red labels becoming yellow labels with CBCS, and he said that it's a part of the interview that they had with him on their last show with him. So I'm definitely going to check that out.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. So cool. All right. So hopefully Jackio's back. We'll let him know that we're done with the slab talk. He said he had to go grab a snack. Guess he likes his raw books. Right. Okay, just real quick, I don't know. I just wanted to put this in here. Chronicles of Narnia is getting a series. There you go. Also, Capcom announced that MegaMan is getting a live action film.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much all we know about it right now, so not a whole lot to say there. But I'll be looking out for more news on that. That, is enough to pique my interest. I'm definitely a Mega Man fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a good game. And it has potential to be decent. Like I think it would do better as a animated movie, but I mean to do live action, you never know. I mean, it's just I just get nervous about what the costumes are gonna look like.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember, just I mean, I have yet to see a really good Mega Man cosplay. A lot of it looks just really distorted,
the suit,
and crazy.
Well,
not just it's just the big helmet. And people look funny. I mean, it's cool to see that they went to all the trouble, but it's just like that's not Mega Man. That's like Mega Man's prototype that didn't make it to the assembly line.
But it's like Spider-Man's homemade suit type of thing, right?
Oh, worse.
The version of that.
I mean, this is just kind of like, oh, you mean it's you are not Mega Man at all. There's nothing mega about you.
Take Mega Man.
What would be the point of doing a live Mega Man? I mean,
just to get people involved. I mean, just like you got to figure. Everybody who's got the money to buy these people that really buy it. I think that's why you're seeing so much of this stuff is because we're all, it's all just to get us because, now we're grown adults. We grew up on this stuff. So it's just like, here's this for you, oh, like you guys love Mega Man. It was a big selling video game when you guys were kids. Guess what? We're making a live action because you'll get people that come right up like, oh my god, Mega Man's getting a live action. I can't wait.
Okay, here's what just popped in my head. Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that turned out very well. So,
but that was
because man, it's like that's just what I'm getting. I can't see this as being a good idea.
But it's different. If it's a series, it's not the same. If it's live action, I mean, like
that's my thing, because even like every instance, the cartoon, whatever we've seen Mega Man in, he's always in his armor or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's gonna have to be completely an awesome looking practical suit, or that's a lot of CGI money.
Mm-hmm.
But like for the Street Fighter movie, as far as that's concerned, like I mean, just I would say you can kind of rest assured with that it won't look. I don't think it'll be anything like that, just because you're talking about 1995, and they were just trying to get something on screen. I mean, they really didn't have, as far as I'm concerned, like they didn't have the right people behind it, and the only really good cast role was Chun-Li. I mean, like they cast her perfect. But everybody else is just kind of like, yeah, we need stars. Like Raul Julia, do you want to be this guy? And I love Raul Julia. Raul Julia is awesome, but like he was really sick and he shouldn't have been doing it. And he died not too long after that movie. And then Van Damme to play Guile, it's just like, okay, like that's a bad casting call too. But it's just like at the time, who was the martial arts? Who was the biggest martial arts action draw that you could have gotten? I mean, because.
Exactly.
You needed to have that kind of name behind it to get it to, people would be like, yeah, let me go watch this. And then as soon as he opened his mouth, I was like, oh, like this is not going to work. Like, I can't believe this Belgian guy is an American hero. It's just not going to happen.
I just think it's going to be tough, man. One of the best video game to movie adaptations that I can recall, and this is just off the top of my head, is the first Mortal Kombat. I thought that one was pretty good.
It's all right
for the time. Because remember, you said mid-90s, right?
Well, yeah, for the time, yeah. I mean, but there was also a lot of. I mean, let's put it this way: there was also a lot of things that were very stupid about that. Like, I mean, how they.
But the soundtrack was awesome.
Soundtrack was amazing.
The soundtrack was one song.
No, it wasn't. The soundtrack had 17 tracks, man. It was great.
The soundtrack, literally, what you heard the whole movie was that one song over and over and over again. The song that wasn't even released for that soundtrack. Actually,
you're talking about like the theatrical score.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know
about the soundtrack.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well,
actually, the soundtrack for Street Fighter was very good too.
No, it wasn't.
It actually was. It charted on the hip hop charts and everything. Like it made like if you like rap music and stuff, like that was actually a good soundtrack.
Oh, it was one of those.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, those Ice Cube was on it. Nas is on it.
Street Fighter?
There was a lot of good rappers on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ice Cube come up twice so far on this show.
I need to get some ice cubes for my drink.
Oh, 3 times.
Hey.
But no, like that soundtrack. That soundtrack did well, but just in general, I mean, those movies are tough to deal with just because they're so old, and on top of that, like I said, I don't think that they were cast with the best interest in mind. When you look at how they told the story, it was just really random, weird, twisted story just to kind of put things on there. I mean, Mortal Kombat was just completely eye-candy. Like to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion and over here, all that stuff. Like that's all they wanted. And to put Goro on screen, people were like, oh my god, this is gonna be, But that's all it was. I mean, it wasn't good, specific, but it just. The way I see it at the time, being a kid, it was just like, oh, this is incredible. And then as you get older, you're like, oh, this is not incredible.
That's right.
This is kind of rough.
Because you lose your sense of imagination.
So yes. I think you mentioned Street Fighter. I think this is a good time to do my drawing. So as you guys know, weekly giveaway, all you have to do is share this video, whether you do it now and say we're live or later and say check out the show. then leave a comment, not in the live feed, the live chat, but afterwards, letting me know that you shared, letting us know. And that's all you have to do.
We can be a part of this too, right?
Sure. Yeah, go right ahead. If you want to.
I say absolutely. You're right. Judgment Night was an incredible soundtrack, and it was a decent movie.
There you go.
But a better soundtrack than the movie, though.
What? Yeah. So because I just started it, 2 people did it. That's fine. It's Legend Storm TV and Brian Spaceboy 227. I believe they're both still here.
50-50 shot, yo.
There you go.
Well, you know what? Instead of doing a drawing because it's 2 people, because they're the first 2, 2 winners. Both Yep. So here's what we got. And actually, who's here? Okay, I'm just gonna do it like this.
Brian's there.
Brian. Okay, so Brian's here. So Brian, here's one. Okay, so this one, it's 3 books each. This one's going to be this Ant-Man by Scotty Young.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay. A bagged Superman, the Harley Quinn ones.
Ooh, don't know what you're going to get. I don't know which
one it is. Yeah, it's still sealed up. And then this is a Loot Crate exclusive for Street Fighter.
Talking about Street Fighter.
Yep, exactly.
All kinds of segues in here.
So there's that one. The next one is Batman Beyond #1.
Oh, nice.
What?
This David Finch Liefeld cover.
Oh, yeah.
For Youngblood #1.
Awesome.
Yeah. And this one. Paper Girls #1. Okay. Yep. Paper Girls #1. So, Brian, let me know which one you want.
You want comics.
Bundle A or Bundle B?
Yep. A is the Street Fighter. B is the Paper Girls. Just let me know. So, that's all you got to do, guys. Just share the video, leave a comment, say hello. Say hey, I shared the video. And next week, next week we'll do a drawing for another winner. B is which one? The Paper Girls one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Brian's. Okay, so Brian gets that. Okay, cool. So Brian, send me a message. Facebook, I think you're on Facebook, Twitter, wherever, so I can get your address. That way I can get those out to you. And Legend Storm, if you're here as well. If not, I'll hit you up on Discord, and we can get those out to you. So congratulations, guys. Said B to me, he owes me. Okay, yeah, right. That's between you guys. You can, I'll send it to him, and if you want to send it to you, then you send it. But so there you go. So congratulations. First inaugural is 2 winners. That was 4, but 2 winners. Cool. So since we're talking about comics, here's another segue. X-Men Black. Magneto came out this week. And it's the first part. It's first of a series of basically one-shots. But there is a story in it. The X-Men Black Apocalypse thing, right?
Yes.
And it was a $5 book?
Yep.
I guess really? It had, yeah. But what'd you guys think of it?
I thought it was all right.
I like the Apocalypse story.
Yeah,
better than the main story.
The Magneto stuff sounded. It was almost kind of like a clip show of a lot of stuff that he's done before, and just
it was just like to me it was just a slow burn, like get you in the mood for them telling a story that they haven't told us in a while.
And the thing about it too, I mean, I can kind of understand them rehashing some stuff because it's Chris Claremont writing it. But I was expecting something a little more. I figured that it was going to be something to really draw you in and get you excited. Okay? We have this going on, and I mean the theme of the whole thing is just the villain. So there's a different one shot to a villain. I guess every single issue. With that, I guess the Apocalypse story to tie it all in. But the art in it was okay. I wasn't too overwhelmed by the art. But the art in the Apocalypse story I thought was pretty good. So I'd have to say, as far as the book itself was concerned, it I don't know, it let me down a little bit because you figure it's going to be like Magneto taking center stage, and that would be the best part of the book, and it really wasn't. It was the Apocalypse story that really caught my interest. And I really hope that, I hope that the next one is better, I guess, because, I mean, if all they're doing is putting a J. Scott Campbell cover and you're going to get this, like, segmented, story that is actually, like, the good part, they could have just saved themselves a lot of money and time and just be like, hey, listen, we're going to do an Apocalypse one-shot. Here it is, the story for him. And, that we're going to go ahead and use that to get to... I guess Disassembled, and then Uncanny X-Men #1, because that's really what is driving the whole hype for this book. Is that like it's going to be prelude to something else that leads up to the new Uncanny X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, I only read the first half where he was talking to the little girl in the cafe, and the locals were kind of getting ready to threaten him or whatever, and it didn't get to that point. But the artwork was just wasn't very good to me, and that's really the problems that I've been having with a lot of Marvel books. Is I want to get something, I want to get a #1 or get into something new Marvel wise, but then I look at the artwork and the interiors, and I'm just like, dude, I'm not spending $4 or $5 on this.
Yeah, well, this is just a series of one shots, like 5 issues or whatever. So.
Yeah.
They're all going to be, I don't know. Yeah, the first part, the story, it's Chris Claremont. Like, he's telling a story. That's fine. Like, I didn't have any problem with the story itself, The art was disappointing for what it was for the price of the book. It should have had a much better artist on it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Magneto's Magneto. You got to have a certain kind of class with that A-list X-Men villain, and it just really wasn't there for me in that part of it. So, like the first story, the Magneto-centric story, I would say, I don't know, probably like a 2.5. Like it was under average, below average for me. But the Apocalypse story at the end, that was pretty interesting to see, him going through a process that he has to go through all the time or whatever. But the art was a little, and maybe it was because the art was so not awesome in the first part that when I got to the second part, it looked so good.
Yeah.
Just, maybe
that's how I felt.
Just comparing those two outside of the book, maybe it wouldn't have been that great, but it seemingly was a lot better. So more interested in the backup story than the main story just because the art threw me off.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a missed opportunity a little bit because, he could have gone with a little bit darker artwork with dealing with villains and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing that I'm because I read, obviously the trying to get everybody prepared for that new Uncanny X-Men, but they have so many people working on that first issue. There's like 3 different writers and a couple of different artists and everything. I'm kind of curious, and I know that like that fan favorite this and that. I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna say this much. I don't know that I'm gonna be disappointed, but I don't think that it's gonna be this big earth-shattering event that they're trying to make it into. I think they're just really, really trying hard to sell that issue #1.
Well,
and then where they go from there is just kind of gonna be anybody's guess.
The event doesn't come until we gotta get everybody together in the first volume. Then we're gonna cancel it. Then we're gonna bring back Uncanny X-Men Volume 13, #1, and that's gonna be when the event starts.
I mean, honestly, you're not that far off. I mean, that's how they're doing this. It's just like you would figure the first X-Men title, the first time you have the X-Men title back, with the actual characters and you can do new things and good things. You shouldn't drop that ball, but you don't. I mean, honestly, I don't know. My excitement for the Uncanny X-Men #1 it isn't as high as I think it should be or where it normally would be.
Mm-hmm.
Had it not been for all these little tricks and shenanigans they're pulling. That's where I think I'm starting to have a little bit of hesitation on it.
Yeah,
I'll get it just because it dropped down because we've lost. Well, sorry, gold's gone and blue's gone. Those just ended, so we get to just get one now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jessica.
That's okay. I didn't like it. I didn't like the art. The art was just lazy to me. Proportions were off. It was not like in an X-Men book. This is just my personal thing. I liked like the traditional house style. Maybe it's because I grew up and like the Jim Lee stuff was like my favorite. You know what I mean? This was just way off from that. And then like in terms of the story itself, sitting there in a restaurant talking to this little girl, and the story was a little too on the nose.
Topic-y? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know it was Chris Claremont writing it, right? But the way he used to do it is kind of touching on social topics, but not so like in your face with it. So obvious. Right. This was, you know, children locked up in jail at the border and they're not criminals. You know, it's exactly taken from the headline. So for me, that was not, that took it away from for me. Definitely. And like you guys said, the backup story was the much better story for it. I will say it was cool seeing a couple of the guys get ripped apart. Yeah. Wolverine and Colossus.
Yeah, like that was okay.
That was pretty cool.
I will say that like the way the book started, if it had kept going with that type of pace or with that type of energy, it would have been a completely way better. Right. The art could have been bad and that would have still been awesome. You know, we'd have still probably said way better things about it. But they slowed the pace so far down and kind of, you know, fooled us at the beginning of what we thought we were seeing. We're like, oh man, this must be some weird alternate timeline or something. This is crazy. What's happening? Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry. Crap. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. It could have been much better. The thing that got me though was there's people in this restaurant. It's a diner, right? It's a diner. It's not a bar. So all of a sudden these 4 people are ready to fight at a diner in the middle of the day. It's not like they're sitting there drinking or anything. They've just had like pie or something. Like what? Yeah. It just didn't. It was out of place. You know, like I said, it was like forced conflict. Like these are the only people we can have a conflict for or with. So let's write them in this way. I don't know.
Let's beat up people at Denny's because we got no hero.
Right.
Yeah. And he was drawing, but also reading Tolkien.
Yep.
I don't know.
Kind of strange. Though he just came to that town to do one thing. So where did he... I don't know. I got questions. Chris Claremont. I got questions.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you got to feel up. You got to eat before you like assault the place. You know? So
he needs to fuel his belly and his mind.
That's right.
He can do such craziness.
Yeah, just don't eat stuff with a lot of iron in it.
Right.
Ooh. So, all right, what do you guys got coming up on your channels? Anything you want to tease? Anything you get ready to post up? Hauls? You got something on Sunday? Maybe.
I'm going to that con on Sunday, so I'm not sure what'll happen then. But yeah, I'm like 3 or 4 weeks plus a random haul backlogged right now. So yeah, I need to just do a long haul video.
Yeah. I have to do a haul video of new stuff and some back issues and stuff. So it's just, you know, somewhere I don't want to do a long haul video just because my regular haul videos end up being long just because I say a lot of things because like I just you know I just you know get into what I'm talking about, but I definitely need to do a video probably like 1 or 2 just to get everything, you know, back to current and show everybody what I have to show. So so look for a video or 2 coming from me this weekend.
Nice.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. Same here. I actually did a video yesterday. I'm doing 1 a month now.
What? You're really ramping it up there, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I actually got I finished a before and after pressing video, and then the book that I pressed actually came back from CGC, so that'll be up. I don't know when, but pretty soon. And then I got a major CGC haul that I'm already recorded. I just got to edit it and then upload it probably Sunday. So I'm gonna be putting out quite a few videos, you know, in the near future. So look out for that. I got to beef up my channel a little bit more and try to maintain that. What is the monetization rules and whatnot. So
you might be doing something on Saturday too, right?
Saturday. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be doing that because somebody invited me to the one of the fights.
Oh,
was it McGregor fight and somebody else? So I'm gonna probably check that out.
Khabib? Is that the one?
I can't remember.
Yes.
If I can find a way out, I'll maybe
McGregor Khabib.
Yeah. So that's kind of the agenda. That changed last minute. So
I mean, I may be around.
That's cool.
It just depends on the time. Because I'm not sure if we're going apple picking or not. Because New England tradition, the apples are out. Time to get some apples and make some apple crisp and everything. So, but yeah, I mean, hopefully that'll be like daytime. So if you do it, either at night or late afternoon type deal, I should be around. So I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but if that's just going down and I'm around, I will definitely hop on.
Yeah, this is crazy. Khabib is 26-0. He's undefeated.
Yeah, I don't remember if he's the one that that Conor hurt when he had his meltdown. 'Cause I know that somebody got cut a little bit when he threw that dolly at the bus. So I think that's what's driving this one is that they have that history.
Yeah, he was in the bus.
Yeah, he was. I think he got cut up by the glass. Yeah, I think that's what happened was Conor and him kind of had a I guess a feud of words through social media, and then they just so happened to be in the same building, and Conor was like, you know what, I'm gonna go full psycho, and just started going crazy, and threw that at the bus, and then just ended up in jail because of it and everything, and he almost lost his career. So I mean, if anything, they're building it up like it's gonna be this big revenge fight. Two guys that absolutely hate each other. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Does it live up to the actual hype of being this mega fight, or is it just gonna be just two guys who have already made their money and there's no need to hurt themselves.
Saturday.
Hope it goes at least 3 rounds.
Yeah.
If it goes 3 rounds, then I'm rooting for the other guy.
Yeah. Right.
If it goes 1 or 2, it might be Conor. If it goes beyond that, he's gonna be tired.
Yep.
We'll see though. We'll see. Just because I mean, and that's such a tough one. I mean, what used to be the joke was that if you ordered a Tyson fight, you'd have to stay glued to the screen because I mean, if you blinked, sneezed, if you went to the bathroom, fight's already over, and you paid $59.99 on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but if you think about it though, it's
John King's famous line, and what happened? I went to go throw this away, and he knocked him out. It's all over.
Right.
It's like they're already on the post-fight interview, and everybody's clean. You see the guy cleaning the ring up, and everybody's like, "What? They just rang the bell. What the hell happened?"
Conor hadn't had a UFC fight in 2 years.
Yeah,
it's been 2 years already.
Yeah, because he took that whole time off after the fight with Mayweather. And then before Mayweather, it was a year or so before, or in between.
They were supposed to switch and do another one.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
there was talk about that. They want to do one boxing and then one octagon.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Floyd and his handlers, they would never allow that.
No.
Not just because he'd lose, but just because he'd probably get hurt. I mean, unless the way I look at it is like this: if in a bare knuckle fight, just straight punching and everything like that, Floyd will fucking kill Conor McGregor. No ifs ands or buts. He can hit harder than him. Mm-hmm. He's faster, but it's just when you add kicks and takedowns and submissions. I mean, so long if it doesn't stay standing, then he's gonna get hurt bad because Floyd doesn't know how to react. Even he's in an arm bar and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's just they're not gonna let that happen.
Exactly. So, all right, cool. So that'll be exciting to see. It's cool you're going to that. So that's pretty cool. So my channel, I still got to do that history thing. I keep talking about every week. I haven't done it. Yeah, haven't done it. I have it ready to go. I just haven't finished it. What else do I got? There was a topic I wanted to talk about tonight, but I'm going to save it for the next continuing the conversation. And you may be interested in it. Edwin, you might be interested in this. Basically, there was a study done that said that there were some Russian trolls and bots that were feeding into the negative buzz for The Last Jedi. I want to talk about that and explore that a little bit more. So, yeah, interesting. That came from the Hollywood Reporter. So that's one of the things I'll talk about there. Yeah. And doing an auction this week over on it's this Saturday, right?
Legend?
The Great Legend? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So Saturday, a Great Legend show. I will be there. I'm selling some books. One of the books I am going to sell, if you're interested, is this Thanos 13.
Oh, man. Is that 9.8 candidate?
Yeah. I would say yes. Yep.
Good book.
Might be interesting.
Like a 12, actually.
12.0. 12.0.
12.0. I was interested in a variant until somebody sold it without letting us know.
You know what?
Right. Wow. Somebody over there on the left.
I put an offer. I put it up for an offer. And next thing within 10 minutes, I couldn't refuse. I was like, "Yep, got to take that."
Yeah, so. Exactly. So, and that's pretty much it in terms of this. I do have some books to show in a haul. I think that's it.
Cool.
So if you're listening here, thank you. Thank you for being here with us live. We are exclusively live every Thursday night on YouTube, but you can check us out after the fact on demand. Also on YouTube, take us on the go and listen. You can stream us through your favorite podcasting streaming services, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, you name it, we're there. That's it. And we will be back next week with some more topics, another review, and another contest. Don't forget that giveaway, guys. Check out our channels here. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody's got content going up, as we just talked about, so don't want to miss it. And if you like this video here, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button and that little bell next to it, so you will be one of the first people here when we are streaming next week. That'll do it, guys. This is Jesse, Justin, Edwin, and Chris. Comic Conversation. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.
Everybody.